Crafters. In tonight's video, we're going to be making a Christmas double Z fold card. We're going to use the church found in the Piece to You cling stamp set. For the background paper, we're going to use the Starry Sky from the 2022-2024 In Colors Designer Series Papers Assortments. Hi, I'm Joan and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we can get started. Here's the Christmas card we're going to make today. It is our double Z fold. And we used the Piece to You cling stamp set to make this card. And we used this stamp right here. And then this is the sentiment we put on the inside. We're going to start by using our Stamparatus so that we can get the image to dry before we assemble the card. And I already have the stamp on the Stamparatus in the position that I want it. And then we are going to put the paper down, and I've got a cross mark right here so that we can put the paper in that position. So we've got a 4" by 4" piece of cardstock. This is basic white, and that would be 10.2 centimeters by 10.2 centimeters. And we're going to just position it right here. And this is cut a lot larger than what we need, but then we can trim it off once we get the image on here. Then we're going to stamp it with this ink, and we're using the Starry Sky. And I'm just going to move this over just a little bit here. I'm probably going to take 2 passes at this. And I got this eraser I'm going to use to rub it. That way I won't have any finger marks on there. We could leave it like this, but I would like it to be a little more solid. So I'm doing another pass at this. And I am going to do a little bit more because there's some white showing here and some white up here. So I'm going to do one more pass. Perfect. So I'm just going to take this off from here, and I'm going to put it up here so it can dry. Then I'm going to take our chamois and wipe off the ink off of this block here. Never want to put your stamp away dirty because you never know what's going to happen the next time you use it. That color would probably come off, and if I didn't want to be using that same color, then you have a mess. So I think we've got that clean. We can just check it real quick here. Yep, that's clean. So what we're going to do next is we're going to stamp the inside sentiment, and then we'll be done with all our ink stamping. So I'm going to just take this paper out of here. So I'm just going to use the same paper, and we're going to bring in our smaller piece of cardstock. This is 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches, or 5.7 centimeters by 8.3 centimeters. And I'm going to get it lined up here. I think I want to have it just off a little bit there. We'll bring in this, and here's our Piece to You at Christmas. And I just want to kind of off-center it from the bottom. Will be just above halfway mark. And it's centered left to right as best as possible. There we go. And then we're just going to close our ink up because we don't need that anymore. And I'll set this by that other piece. And I'm going to clean my stamp So now we need to cut our paper. So we have a piece of cardstock here, and normally I would score it at the 5.5 mark. So it would score both pieces of paper, but we want the second one to be scored in different positions. So we're going to cut it first. So we're going to cut it at 4 1/4, and that would be 10.8 centimeters. And like pushing my trimmer blade up rather than pulling it down. And you can do it however you want. Then we'll score it at 5.5. And so this is at 5.5. I'm going to score it. And then we need to score it at 2 3/4. So I'm going to bring it here and we'll score it at 2 3/4. So we've got that taken care of. Then this piece here, we want to cut 9 3/4. Now this trimmer has an arm on it, so we can get that 9 3/4. There we go. We're going to trim it now. And then we want it to be 3 3/4. So we're going to line it up there. And I'll bring it down here again so I can push it out. I love this trimmer because it has both blades on there. Mine actually has a third blade. This one, I wrote glitter on it because I used the trimming one until it got dull, and then I wrote glitter on it and I put a brand new trimmer blade on there. So now when I have to cut foils or glitter paper, I'll use this because it really dulls them very quickly. And I just go slowly so that it won't tear the paper. It cuts it very nicely. So we've got this the right size. We need to score it at 4 1/4 inches. And that's the trimmer blades. We're moving that down out of our way. And here we're scoring at 4 1/4 inches. And then the next one we want to score it at 7 inches. Let me go over this. We cut it to 9 3/4. That would be 24.8 centimeters. And then we cut it to 3 3/4. That would be 9.5 centimeters. Now we're scoring at 4 1/4. That was 10.8 centimeters. Then we're taking it all the way to 7 inches, which is 17.8 centimeters. Now we've got all those scored. So next we need is a piece of designer series paper, and this is going to be the stripe paper. So that's going to be on the base of the card, and we want to cut it at 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches, and 5 1/4 we want it to be with the stripes going up and down. So 4 inches we want it to be cut this way first. And I wanted to cut the 4 inches first because that'll leave me the most of the scrap paper. So this can easily be used in another card. So then we turn it to 5 1/4. So we first cut it at 4 inches, which was 10.2 centimeters. And now this is 5 1/4 inches, which is 13.3 centimeters. So we got that one done. Next we want is 2 pieces cut at 4 inches. And then we can cut this down to 2.5 inches. So that 4 inches was 10.2 centimeters. And then this is going to be 2.5 inches or 6.4 centimeters. And we'll do another one because we need 2 of those. So that's going to be on the base card. And then we need another piece out of this material here. We need a piece cut at 4 inches by 3.5 inches. That's going to be our biggest piece here. And I'm just wondering if there's enough on here. Now that's not enough for the 4 inches that way, but there's enough this way. and there was enough to do the 3.5 this way. So we will cut 4 inches off from this. And this doesn't have any directions, so we can cut it this way. So 4 inches, which would be 10.2 centimeters. And then we're going to turn it to 3.5 inches. And that's going to be 8.9 centimeters. And with just a little bit we're cutting off there. So we've got that for our biggest piece. Then we need 3.5 inches by 2 inches. And 2.5 inches. So this one's not big enough. So we're going to put that to the side. So this will be 3.5 inches. And that's going to be 8.9 centimeters. And then we need 2.5 inches, or 6.4 centimeters. And we need to cut 2 of them. There's the first one. And here's the second one. And 2.5 is 6.4. Okay. I think we have all our paper cut. So next we want to trim this down to size. So I would like to have 1/8 of an inch be around with white for a border. So I am going to take it and pencil it in here because that's the only way I can get it to line up properly. My eyes are really bad, so I'm going to pencil it in. And I'm going to mark it at 1/8 of an inch. And I can mark it right out here. Let me do it this way. 1/8 of an inch. And we'll do 1/8 of an inch here. And then we need 1/8 of an inch here. We'll do 1/8 of an inch down here as well. I tried lining it up, cutting the paper with 1/8 of an inch on each side beforehand, and then trying stamping it, and I could not get it to line up properly. So I think this is the best way to do it. For me, anyways. I'm going to do one more here. Okay. And down here, we're just going to measure at 3 1/8, I think is what we need for our final measurements. So 1/8 of an inch comes out to be, let me see if I can't find it on here, 1/8 of an inch. So it looks like 0.3 centimeters. It's right about there, yeah. Somewhere between 0.2 and 0.3 centimeters, but be consistent. So we're going to bring our trimmer in. Now I'm taking this tool to line it up as well. So I want to make sure that when the blade comes through, it's going to come in that area. So this has to come out here a little bit. Now, let me see if I can't get it to cut right. That worked. Okay, then let's do this one. Oh, that worked much better. And this one here. And then we need 3 1/8 inches equals 7.9 centimeters. So there we have it. I think think we're done with our trimmer now. So let's get our pieces back in here and start assembling. I'm going to bring in our rubber mat. That is our silicone mat. So first I want to fold and burnish this larger piece here. And we've got it at the 5.5 inch piece. Now if you didn't get the measurements, I'll have them in the comments section below. But the other thing is you just take your piece of cardstock and you fold it in half, and then the next piece is folded in half again. So that'll make your Z fold, and I am going to fold it. Let me see, which way does it fold? This piece right here. So that's one of our Z folds. And then our second Z fold, same thing, we'll fold this in half. And then we'll fold this in half. For the large piece, we want to take that big piece of the designer series paper, and we're just going to glue it on the back. And you could use your multi-purpose glue. And I'm going to use this needle nose tip because that'll help slow down the glue. Let me get that out from there. Or you could use your tear and tape or your Seal Plus. But I like to use the glue because there's some wiggle room there. And this is the designer series paper, the In Colors assortment from the 2022-2024. I love both sides of this paper, but the flowers probably won't work so well for this design because I want it to be more holiday-ish. And here in Wisconsin, we don't have flowers that grow in our environment in the winter. And I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch for the border. Then we're going to do the same thing on this here. We're going to put glue and leave 1/8 of an inch for the border. I need to get a rubber band to secure that closure so that it doesn't drag through the glue. So I'm making 1/8 of an inch for the border, but I'm also making sure that it lines up here and here. And then we're going to take the last piece of the designer series paper in the stripes and glue it again. This is really strong glue, so you don't really need a lot of glue. And it does allow you to wiggle it a little bit. I can move this up to a point and then suddenly it sticks. So let's see, I think that is good. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and just secure everything and make sure there's no air bubbles underneath. The paper's contacting paper. And we'll just set that aside while we do the next piece. This is the 9 3/4 inch piece, and we're going to do this large piece here first. And we're going to not use this side of the paper, but I love this. We could have used this instead of the stripes, but I had used some of this paper earlier, and so I didn't have enough to use that backing. I had to use another color. So let's do this. It's a little bit crooked. Let's see if I can't get it off from here yet, because I keep saying it should be having some wiggle room. There we go. That's better. And then let's do these two pieces. And then we want to line it up at the top and the bottom and keep an 1/8 of an inch on the sides. So, sorry, the top and the bottom. Let me put it so that you actually see a top and a bottom rather than at an angle. So I'm saying we're going to line it up right up there. And we'll line it up here. And then we'll leave an 1/8 of an inch. And we didn't get the 1/8 of an inch, so let's do that again. And I'm going to put a little more glue on there. It's starting to get tacky, so that's why I'm going to give it a little more glue so that I can actually wiggle it around a little bit. Okay, 1/8 of an inch. And I can see it there. There. And then this one. And an 1/8 of an inch. Lining those up and right to left. And then we're just going to use our bone folder to get all the air bubbles out. Now let's bring in our sentiment. We're going to just center that on here. And we'll just put some glue on there. I always put too much glue on. You really don't need that much glue. It's really a strong glue. I could have probably just did little glue dots. Okay. And now we can put this on here. And we'll just put glue on the back of this as well. And let's see if I can't get by with less glue this time. It's mainly why I like this bottle, because I can get it down to a little stream. And then I can control how much glue I put on a little bit better. I'm trying to center this right to left. And top to bottom. I think that's good. What do you guys think? All right, so that's centered. Now we need to put it on here. And what I like to do is I like to just line the first piece on here. So we get it like this. And that is pretty much centered there. Top to bottom and left to right. And we're going to bring it up here just to give you a little better view. And then we're just going to open it up like this. And I'm going to... I basically wanted to get it where I can mark where the glue goes up to. So we do not want glue going past this point here. Right here. We're only going to glue this much down. And let's just verify that. Yes, that's what we want. Otherwise, if we glue the whole front, it will glue our card shut. So let's get this down here. I think that's good like that. I'm going to open it up so we can rub it with the bone folder here. We'll rub it a little bit this way. I just don't want to press too hard on the glue and the ink on the card. Then the next is we need to glue that back piece right here. And we can glue that whole thing down. So I'm going to put just like this. And then I'm just going to fold this over on it. And it looks like I had a little glue back here, probably from the glue mat. And I'm going to do my bone folder here. We'll do the bone folder back here. I think that's good. What we need is our gems. We have no gems on here yet, so let's use our iridescent rhinestones. And I am just going to take these off. I'm going to use that paddle again. And I'm just going to grab the smaller gems. And we'll put one here. And I like to kind of put them sort of in a triangle and put 3 on. So I've got 2 there, and I'll put another one down here. So sort of a triangle there. There we go. And let's see if we can't get that other card back in here. This one I used the Orchid Oasis. And let's see if we can't do this. I hope you like this project as much as I did. I love using the Stamparatus. It makes it so easy to do mass production or to stamp a large stamp like this one. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji. That means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Bear with me a little bit longer because I want to let you know of the promotions going on right now. Last Chance Products promotion is now live. Stock up on your favorite products before they're gone for good. Save up to 60% on essential craft supplies. What are you waiting for? Start shopping. For more information about Last Chance products, check out the comments section below. Don't forget to check out the clearance rack. New items have been added to the clearance rack in the online store. Supplies are limited, and with the discounts up to 60%, products will go quickly. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Saturday, December 17th, and I will be doing one final Christmas card. This is actually going to be a thank you card. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.